it, Barbie. Chloe. Period I, period 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 Got my name up in your mouth, you don't know no better. Don't forget I'm from the south, yeah, I got them headers. You watching everything I do, studying all of my moves. Wish you could do what I do. Period I, period period I, period period I, period period I, period.
Hello, litigators and opinionators. Court is now in session, and my goodness. Okay, guys, this dating app stuff is getting out of hand. There are a lot of stories I'm going to talk to you today about dating app dangers out here. I have at least found, well, last month I talked to you guys about a young lady, Jazzy. I'll show you her picture really quick before I get into this news story. About 2 stories that happened recently in the last few weeks. And then I talked to you last month about Jazzy Pace, who met someone online. And oh yeah, I didn't even tell you about the other young lady that was brutally, savagely unalived last year. But there's a lot of stories that have been coming out. There's so many that I haven't even covered, guys, about the dangers of online dating. But last month, I talked to you about Jazzy Pace, who, she thought she met this guy online. She dated him for a couple months. They became boyfriend and girlfriend, and she had lost a loved one. And so she went to her boyfriend's house to, be consoled. And he savagely, and I mean savagely, unalived her, packed her body in a suitcase, and just stashed her like she was trash. Well, we're back again, guys, with 2 new tragic stories about the dangers of online dating. The first story that I want to talk to you guys about is just happened, and I'm going to talk to you about it. Well, there's 2 stories that just recently happened. The first thing I want to talk to you about is this young lady here, Wendy Duan. Wendy Duan is a sweet young lady who lives in Texas. And she is a teacher. Oh my God, this girl is incredible, I have to tell you. So she is an elementary education teacher at Alief Independent School District. And she studied elementary education at University of Houston, went to LLER High School. And she, like I said, she lives in Houston, Texas. And she's been single for a while. So, when you're single and you're a career-oriented woman, because I can attest, as a career woman who studies, you study most of your life to get to where you are. And now you're in your career and you work very extensive hours. So sometimes you don't have time to go out into the dating arena, go to a bar or whatever and meet somebody the organic way. So what do? You go online, you get an app, and you just do a quick DoorDash type dating atmosphere. The problem with that is it's kind of like a speedy type dating where you don't really get to meet that person face to face. Now, I understand where Chi Chi is saying in the chat. She said, whether you're dating someone online or old fashioned way, you got to be careful. And that is true, because people who meet dangerous individuals organically still come across some sick people. But the difference between meeting someone organically versus someone online is when you meet someone organically face to face, you can actually pick up on very disturbing vibes because your intuition will kick in. You can look them in the eyes. You can assess their body language, how they're talking to you. You have more of an advantage because you're having face-to-face interactions with those individuals. If they're lying, you can tell based upon their body language. They may not look at you and avoid you in the eyes. They may start stuttering. Their statements will be inconsistent. And they can't really think quick on their feet when they're in front of you thinking of a lie, because you'll tell, 1 minute they'll say one thing and next minute they'll change your story. Whereas online dating, it's a little bit different, guys. Online dating, you don't get to have all those indicators. The person has time to think about their answers to you. They can Google certain answers that will be persuasive. For example, how to lure a woman or how to manipulate a woman, whatever. They can look up things. They have more an advantage to carefully craft their messages to you, whereas a person you meet face to face, you actually can assess more about that person. So I'm learning there has been multiple online killings, kidnappings that we're going to go over today, but I want to center it around Wendy Duan because this is really the case I wanted to focus on. But I will, talk to you about a couple of others because I do think you need to be aware if you're going to go on online dating, you need to be aware of some of the concerns that are happening. So let's just talk about who she is before we get into the whole thing. This young lady, like I said, she is she's a teacher. She has a beautiful heart. Oh my God, wait till you guys hear about her. So not only does she a great teacher and everybody loves her, and she got Teacher of the Year. She just won that. Let me show you her post here. She just was awarded back in December. Well, last year, but 2021. Sorry, it was 2021 that she got this award. But it was a very unusual award considering her status as a teacher. She said on December 16th, 2021, "I still can't believe I was ESL Teacher of the Year. The whole time I kept telling people that there's no way I would win, especially going against other teachers who have been teaching way longer than I have. Thanks to the people who believed in me and voted for me." So that's incredible, guys. She got Teacher of the Year, even though she, wasn't at the caliber of other teachers who were way longer than her. They had more extensive history at the school, but she exceeded them all. She had a lot of great successes. She got her car wrapped a year ago or whatever. And just to see her personality here. So she has a video on here. I wanted to kind of let you see who she was before we get started. Because again, it's all about the victims. And a lot of people focus on the individuals who do these crimes. And I want to put the focus on the victims.
Right? And I already have all this work that I need to do because grades are due tomorrow, and my ass has been procrastinating because I'm just not one of those teachers that grades throughout the week, so I wait last minute and they're due tomorrow. Somebody send help. Why does this filter make me look like I got a nose job? See, these Snapchat filters be catfishing people. Like, my nose is not that tall.
So just to see a vibe of her, she seems to be very fun and full of life. She just went to a concert, y'all, very recently. Of course, I can't play that because it's copyright, but I can at least show you the video. Sorry, I'll mute it. She just went to a concert. We're just, what is this? How far was that? 4 weeks ago, just a month ago. So she's a very outgoing young lady. She doesn't just teach, but she knows how to have fun too. She has a wonderful personality based on the videos I showed you. You can see how extensive her schedule is on the weekends where she's grading a lot of papers. You just saw that video. So just wanted to give you guys a background of her before we get started, because again, it's all about the victims involved. And I think really what happened with this young lady, like most of us, we're busy career women and men, because I work 10 hours a day. I understand I'm a very busy attorney that works long hours. So I get it. You're busy and you want to do the dating app thing. But these different apps out here, I'm telling you, and it's not just one app, because I've seen one victim that was on Bumblebee. This young lady was on Meet. I'll tell you the name, Meet Something app. And then just the recent tragedy with Jazzy Pace. I think she also met her guy on Bumble, but you'll have to watch that video because I did a very extensive video about Jazzy Pace also, but we want to keep these victims alive. I'm going to watch this video before we read the article.
Is made in the murder of an elementary school teacher, Wendy Duan. She was shot and killed at her Sugarland home. Investigators say she met the suspected gunman on a dating app. They reportedly knew each other for only a week before Sunday's shooting. Investigators say Duan got into an argument with Jarvis Thompson. She was shot several times in her backyard.
Right now, Thompson is awaiting extradition back to Texas. The Fugitive Task Force found him in Shreveport, Louisiana yesterday. Brittany Ford has more on the arrest and joins us now. Brittany.
Gumi, investigators say that Thompson was in Louisiana for about 2 days at an unidentified home before he was arrested. Today, authorities gave us new details into how the two met and what led up to the murder. 26-year-old Jarvis Thompson has been charged with capital murder for the death of 28-year-old Wendy Duan. Police say the two had met on an online dating app called Meet Me.
Information that we received is they met online on an app, and they knew each other exactly about a week. I think they met a couple days prior to New Year's Eve, but the first time they'd actually physically seen each other was New Year's Eve.
Investigators were called to Duan's home in the New Territory subdivision in Sugarland Saturday night after neighbors heard gunshots. When officers arrived, they found Duan shot to death in the backyard. Police believe a fight between the two led to shots fired. Thompson had been on the run for the last week before being located and arrested in Shreveport, Louisiana.
It was a brutal murder, sadly for her and her family and her friends. So we're able to do our little part in what we can do to try to bring him to justice.
Duan was a beloved A-Leaf ISD teacher who had taught 3rd grade at Boone Elementary for several years. The district's Twitter account is filled with photos showing her love for teaching and her students. In light of the tragedy,
there's got to be a general awareness.
Authorities are sending this message to anyone planning to meet someone online.
Communicating with your parents, your family, your friends. Hey, this is what I'm doing. This is who I'm going out with. This is where we're meeting. Are we meeting in a very public place? Are there other people around? Things of that nature.
Thompson is currently being transported to the Fort Bend County Jail. However, authorities tell me that could take up to a month. His bond remains set at $500,000. Reporting in Sugarland, Brittany Ford.
Now, there's also an allegation, and I don't know if this is true, guys, because, people be just spreading rumors. But I was looking on her Facebook, and there was a comment on one of the pictures. I don't even remember what picture it was. Now I'm trying to find it, y'all. But someone said that she basically felt sorry for him, as they started talking, and she let him live with her temporarily under the condition that he get a job. Now, guys, that is really fast, meaning she only known him for a week. And to immediately move a guy in that you've only met for 1 week, that's very fast. And so we as men and women have to be careful and use our discretion. I know a lot of us have beautiful big hearts, just like this young lady. It seems like she does, because as I was looking at her information, she was also a volunteer. She volunteers for organizations. She does really great things that actually I'm going to show you some pictures. I'll show you some of these pictures of her, because this is where I can see where her good heart comes from and why she probably felt sorry for him. And again, this is just an allegation from one of the people that alleged to have known her. But here you can see in some of these photos I'm going to show you, she's a volunteer. She volunteers at an organization. Let me see what this organization is before I start sharing photos, y'all. This person said, sad to learn about one of our volunteers, 29-year-old, so she's only 29 years old, Wendy Duan, being unalived. LLER ISD teen shot and killed following domestic violence incident. She wanted to do some good deeds in the community, so she came to volunteer with us. See that? So she gives, and she doesn't have to do this. I mean, she already works an extensive job already, and as you've seen in one of her videos talking about how she had to grade all those papers, and that takes your whole weekend. It's all consuming when you're grading all those kids' papers. But even outside of that, she's out here giving back to the community. And it seems like she's immersed with even another ethnic group, the Black community. I'm like, wow. It's like, so she's stepping out of her own comfort zone to help other people in other ethnic groups. That is beautiful. I think this woman had a beautiful heart. They said that she was very friendly, soft-spoken person. They said we all had a good, genuine vibe about her. We pray with her. We had prayer with her. Wow. You just never know what a person is going through. Our sincere condolences. And here are some pictures of her. She's in the middle. And look, like she was just so caring. She was the type of person that didn't see her color. If she saw a need, then that's where she would go to help and be there and try to immerse herself. And this organization that she's volunteered for is called Feed the Need. So it's about feeding those individuals who are hungry, who are in the impoverished community, who are struggling. That is incredible. That is incredible. She didn't have to do this. Okay. She could have been resting, going out, but she took the time out of her own schedule, no incentive at all. She didn't get anything from this, but just the pureness of this beautiful girl's life. And what makes it so sad is like when you see them, you can see that this young lady was living her life. Living her life. And I thought this was beautiful too when we saw this part where they're circled praying together. That is beautiful. And I saw that picture, guys. But sorry, I wanted to really let you see what an incredible young lady she was. Now let's get into the article, and then we will move on to another case that's happening as we speak, y'all. There is a lot of dating app cases out here. Y'all need to be aware of what's going on because it's not just one case, okay? We just talked about Jasmine Pace last month, now Wendy Duan. But Texas teacher Wendy Duan found unalived in her own backyard. She met the alleged murderer on a dating app, her mother says. Now, y'all need to know something about her mom, okay? Wendy Duan's mother warned her daughter about dating online. There's actually an article about it. And her mother said, here, let me actually show you. I want to show you what her mama said because we kind of already covered. Is this where it is, where the mom said? Article. Am I on the New York Post? I'm going to show you this New York Post article better because the mom actually spoke, and I was like, wow, the mom actually forewarned her daughter, and you got to listen to your parents sometimes. I know people grown, but sometimes these parents be knowing what they saying. I'm just saying. A Texas elementary teacher was found unalived in her backyard, reportedly met alleged killer on a dating app just a week. That's too soon, y'all. Just a week before she was shot, and she let him into her home after a week. Guys, we got to stop. If you're going to date online, don't let them know where you live. Do not go to their house. That is a big issue we're seeing with a lot of these cases. Then I'm going to show you another case. Wendy Duan's boyfriend, Charvez Thomas, was arrested Wednesday in Louisiana, over 260 miles from where he allegedly shot her multiple times in Sugar Land backyard last week. So he was in Texas with her. He unalives her. Then he flees, guys, to Louisiana. So there's going to be an extradition process going on, too, to extradite him back from Louisiana to Texas because he tried to flee the scene, y'all. The two had only been dating a week before Thompson took her life. The victim's mother, who did not want to be identified. Now, the poor victim's mother is in so much deep pain right now. They met on the Meet Me dating app, which made Duan's mother uncomfortable. See, the mother already was talking to her daughter saying, I'm not really comfortable about you dating these people online. You got to listen to your parents. I know y'all don't want to listen. A lot of y'all are grown, but parents have intuition too. And if they're telling you to be careful, you might want to heed to that and kind of think about and reprocess what you're doing. The distraught mother said she had been feeling bad about Thompson. See this? She already didn't have good vibes about the guy. And she warned Duan about the danger of meeting a stranger online. And she even, like when she was talking about it, she was saying how creepy he was. She said, Duan's mother said, she showed me the picture. Duan's mother said, I don't know his name. She's just saying, do you like him? I said, no. That's what her mother said. Her mother said, no. Despite her strong intuition, Duan's mother never imagined her daughter would end up unalived. It's unbelievable, she said. So all her mom did, guys, is show her his picture. That was it. And I'm telling you, a picture says 1,000 things. I'm able to get vibes off that because I used to do online dating. And all I did, guys, I don't know if you can do this. Let me know in the chat if you feel these vibes. But I would just look at a guy's picture and I can feel the vibe through the picture. And I'd be like, oh, something's creepy about this dude. And I move on to the next. Ooh, something's not good about this dude. Move on to the next. And you could just look into their eyes. I'm telling you, even that alone can help you. But the mom saw this picture and was like, no, something's not right about him. Something's not right, honey. You need to be careful. And, you know, Lord and behold, her mom was right. That's so sad. Sometimes we're looking for love and we let our emotions sometimes defeat our rationality a lot of times. Let's see if there's any other pictures in here. This was the crime scene, y'all, right here. After the fact, after the police authorities were called. This is her. She's so beautiful. Duan was such a beautiful girl. She could literally have anybody she wanted. Anybody. Okay? She could walk to a grocery store and pick up a guy. She was beautiful. But sometimes, you know, us career women, we do a lot of online dating because you don't have a lot of free time to go to a bar or go to a party or whatever. You don't have the time. Every Thursday, she has to go to a dollar store to buy gifts for kids. Aw. Thompson is in the process of being extradited back to Texas. A arrest warrant was issued Sunday, charging him with unaliving, and his bond is set at $500,000, y'all. But I'm gonna keep it real. I'm with the mama on this, guys. When I saw this guy's picture, I was like, no, she could do better. Duan could have got a way better guy than this guy. This guy looked like he already looked crazy in that picture. My gosh. The mom was like, no, the mom. That's sad. And Duan is a 3rd grade language arts teacher. So she teaches 3rd grade language arts. Just a sweet girl who cared a lot about her teachers. We talked about another teacher that cared a lot about her kids. So 3rd grade language arts teacher with the Alif Independent School District. And she was named English as a 2nd language teacher of the year. That's amazing. According to her mother, Duan is a dedicated teacher who put her students first. She said that's when she was talking about that every Thursday she asked her mom to go buy gifts for her kids. Every Thursday, guys. That's so sweet. So Thompson, he's in the process of being extradited back to Texas. This sick looking man, y'all. I'm gonna go back. So y'all can see who I'm talking about. He's about to be extradited. He's in Louisiana right now. He tried to flee, y'all. He fled all the way to Louisiana, thought he was gonna get away with it. He is in the process of being extradited back to Texas, and an arrest warrant is being issued, charging him with the unalive. This is sad, y'all. Be very careful out there. Now I want to move on. I can't spend too much time on the story because we're gonna talk about them all together. There is another one that just happened just a few weeks ago, y'all. Yep, a few weeks ago. I'm gonna play this one for you. But luckily in this case, y'all, the young lady is still alive. So that's the only good news we can say about this one. But let's get into this one. And then I'm gonna tell you a little bit about some past ones that have happened. This next one is kind of creepy. It's also in Texas. So both of these tragedies I'm talking to you about that recently just happened, they both occurred in Texas. Okay. So this is another Texas man.
Organize.
They're gonna wait for these ads to go away, y'all.
For anyone looking for love on a dating app, a man is now facing charges in Texas after authorities say he kidnapped a woman he met on Bumble. Police say 21-year-old Zachary Mills tortured and sexually assaulted the victim for 5 days. Court documents you see here show the victim agreed to visit Mills at his home, where their records show that Mills started attacking her. He's also accused of hitting her with a screwdriver. The woman was able to escape after he left the house to visit his father. A neighbor of the suspect says she's now rethinking online dating.
It's pretty scary with the new dating world only being, mostly online.
So Bumble has 7 tips for safe dating that includes always meeting in a public place, telling someone you trust where you're going, and of course, researching the person that you're meeting as much as possible.
So yeah, this just recently happened in Texas too. I don't know what's going on in Texas in the dating world, but if you live in Texas, I'll be a little careful. So this just happened January 10th, y'all. So both of these dating app scary things, tragedies have happened just this month alone. Okay. So people think, oh yeah, I'm gonna show you another video of this guy because he was in court acting a fool and arrested, but we'll get to that before we read the article. I mean, after we read the article. They said it's pretty scary. The new dating world. It is, guys. It is. Houston woman allegedly held captive, raped, starved and beaten with a screwdriver by a man she met online. And so basically what ended up happening, allegedly, these are all allegedly, okay, I'm telling y'all need to stop going to these people's houses. My gosh, that's one of the biggest dangers. The last 3 tragedies we heard about, Duan let the guy come to her house. Jasmine Pace went to the guy's house. And this young lady went to the guy's house. Stop going to people's house. Stop. Ew, God, I can't believe it. Y'all need to go to a public place. Go to a bar, go to a restaurant, and leave it at that and say no thank you. And you need to date them for a long period of time before you go to private, closed areas. Now, the scary part about this one, too, is this guy doesn't even have a criminal record. So, I mean, if she looked this guy up, she wouldn't have even had any red flags unless he said some weird off the chart stuff, during the dating process or maybe when she was messaging him or talking to him on the phone. But he beat her with a screwdriver, guys. Oh, my God. And she was kidnapped. He didn't even let her eat for several days. She's lucky she's alive. A Texas man has been arrested for allegedly kidnapping a woman he met on a dating app and torturing her for several days around 2022 Christmas holiday. And she actually went out to meet him during the holiday. The woman said not only was she essayed, but the 21-year-old also beat her. The man beat her, withheld food and water from her for several days, y'all. On Thursday, December 29th, deputies with the Harris County Constable's Office said a female patient at the Houston Methodist Spring Emergency Care Facility, known by its initials JW, said she was a victim of a terrible assault that lasted over 5 days, y'all. 5 days. Imagine how terrified this girl was. Starting on Christmas Eve. So she had to spend her Christmas Eve and Christmas at this creepy guy's house, according to Law and Crime, allegedly. Okay. Let's see what this video is. Oh, come on. Let's play this video, guys. It might be a part of it. Hold on.
Kevin Desir died in a Broward County jail on January 27th, 2021.
Never mind. That's not even relevant. Why would they have that video here, guys, when it has nothing to do with the tragedy? I'm done. Okay, so this is the creepy guy here. Now, he swears up and down he is innocent. He appeared in court and he was so animated. I'm going to see if I can find that video for you so you can see him in court. But he swears up and down he's innocent. I don't know who's innocent or who not, but I'm just saying, why would she lie about that? I don't know. I don't know. Why would she go through all of this terror and a rape kit? Oh, I said the word. Oops. The RAPE kit. Why would she go through all those kits and everything? And the horrible emotional toll it puts on you. Those cops ask some really disturbing questions to victims of SA. It's a very traumatic thing. I don't know why she'd go through all that. But again, he's innocent until proven guilty. Zachary Kent Mills is accused of kidnapping and assaulting a woman he met on a dating app. Court documents show Zachary Kent Mills met the woman on the Bumblebee dating app. So we just covered the story about the Meet Me app. Now the Bumblebee app. Oh my gosh. It's these different apps. It's across the apps. It don't matter what app you're on. So don't think, oh, I'm on this other new app, so I'm good. No, be careful. If it's dating app, period, just use precaution. Use precaution. That's all I'm saying. So she met him on a Bumblebee app. He wooed her into an online romantic relationship. And that's what they do. They have the sweet, cunning, very loving, caring, seductive words. And you think you met Prince Charming or Queen Elizabeth, whatever one you want to pick. And then you meet them in person and they're a whole completely different person. Once the door closes and you're in that house, the demon arises. I'm just saying. Okay. JW met Mills at his apartment and immediately upon entering, that's what I said. Right when she walked in that door, everything changed for her. And once that door was shut, immediately he attempted to start to have physical intercourse with her. Y'all know what that is. Y'all know. She rejected his advances, invoking his fury or his rage for the rejection. Okay? It's like some of these people out here, these predators, a lot of them, they go on the online dating looking for victims, women or men who are really looking for love. They're looking for y'all. Okay? They're searching for someone who is very, desiring of a relationship. I don't want to say the other word, desiring of a relationship. And so they fall prey and susceptible to wanting it so fast and quick and easy, like it's a DoorDash meal. And so they're like, oh, well, come over to my house. We can talk. And the thing is, they're so nice to you on the app. So you think you met Prince Charming. You got to be careful. Don't fall for the niceness. And some of these people don't even have criminal records like this guy. So it's not like you can go look this person up. Although I would advise you still look up each person you date. And I mean, look them up from their social media to their criminal records, all that. But still, how do you know they're giving you their right name? You just never know. These people be lying. When JW denied the defendant's essays or his physical advances, he immediately began to physically assault her and would not let her leave his residence, the report stated, adding JW advised when he assaulted her, he would strike her using a closed fist. Defendant would also he also bit her on the neck and face. Oh my God, this is sounding like a Ted Bundy. They be biting people. Why they be biting people? Stated when the defendant's hands got tired from hitting her. So after he got tired from hitting her, he starts biting her. He would grab a screwdriver also and would strike her with the handle of the screwdriver, causing serious bodily injuries. Now, okay, he claiming up and down he's innocent, but if she has serious bodily injury with his bite marks and DNA all over that girl, I'm gonna say good luck with him trying to fight this thing, because that's gonna be kind of difficult. Because if she got severe injuries and his DNA matching those bite marks, that's corroborating her indications. I'm gonna keep. I hope this case is actually more publicized. It seems like it was just reported and then it went away. So these cases need to be really widely publicized to warn people of the dangers. The woman said she tried to escape a few times, but each time her effort was thwarted by Mills, who continued to abuse her. She was eventually able to escape after Mills left the apartment to go visit his father's home. So he goes to his father's home, and that's when she's able to escape. Thank God. I mean, guys, what do you think? I mean, I don't want to think what would have happened if she never left. Oh my gosh. This girl was smart to get the heck out of there. According to the affidavit, at that point, JW gathered her clothes and ran out the door and contacted the first people who she came in contact with and advised them of what occurred. Now I wonder, my question is, did he have her tied up or whatever to prevent her from leaving, or did he just leave or something? I'm trying to figure that out, because what he's going to argue is, oh, I didn't have her tied up or anything. She could have left anytime she wanted. We just like rough physical intercourse, if you know what I mean. So that's going to be his excuse. So this is going to be an interesting trial, y'all. I'm just saying. It's going to be interesting. It's like a he said, she said, and he's going to argue that, she was into whatever 6 bondage stuff he was doing to her. I don't know, but this is going to be very interesting. Y'all going to have to figure out and litigate who you guys believe in this one. But I believe the girl. I'm just saying. I believe her, but that's just my opinion. JW was taken to an emergency care unit. Wait, let's go back. Okay, she gathered her clothes and she ran out the door, contacted the first people who came in contact with, and advised them of what occurred. JW was taken to an emergency care unit and treated for severe bruising to both her eyes, bite marks, and cuts to both her throat. Bite marks? She had bruising to her eyes, bite marks, and cuts to both her throat and nose. Severe bruising to the majority of her body. Okay, well, now that we know the injuries, guys, that don't sound like some rough intercourse stuff. Hey, I don't know how he gonna get around that. I think a jury's gonna convict him, y'all. I think a jury's gonna convict him. This is crazy. Look at her injuries, severe bruising to both eyes, bite marks, cuts to both her throat and nose, and severe bruising to the majority of her body. So this girl had bruising all over that girl's body. Oh my gosh, she suffered. This poor girl, y'all. The victim was able to positively identify Mills to the authority, and he was taken into custody on December 30th and booked into the Harris County Jail. He has been charged with 1 count of aggravating kidnapping. Since his arrest, has posted a $50,000 bond. Okay, why was he only charged with aggravated kidnapping? What about the RAPED and the battery and all this, the bodily injury? Why are they only charging the kidnapping? That's the problem I have with this too. They better be adding additional charges, because I could see an assortment of charges that they could be filing against this guy. Okay, since the arrest, Mills has posted $50,000 bond. He is now on 24-hour house arrest and has denied all allegations against him. Conditions of bond say he's not permitted to come within 200 feet of JW's lives, works, or attends school. People are crazy, one of Mills' neighbors told a news station. It's pretty scary with the new dating world only being mostly online. I don't know what she's saying. It's pretty scary with the new dating world only being mostly online. There are many dangers in meeting strangers on dating apps. It is. According to Fatchel, 1 in 10 sex offenders, 1 in 10 meet new people on dating apps or websites. Did y'all see that? Another startling report states in 2005, 25% of people convicted of RAPE find their victims through online dating, guys. 25% of them. They just they're online looking for people that they can, physically assault, just fall in and just woo and lure into these vulnerable situations. Even more terrifying is the report says each year, internet predators commit more than 16,000 abductions, 100 unalives, and thousands of RAPEs. Did you see that? Each year, internet predators commit more than 16,000 abductions, 100 unalives, and thousands of RAPEs. Thousands. Just because we're highlighting 1 or 2 stories doesn't mean the other thousands of other stories are not occurring. That's the thing. Just some of them make the news. Not all of them make the news. That's the disturbing part about it. A lot of people just say, oh, this is just 1 or 2 cases. No, the statistics are alarming, y'all. Alarming. So he had a court date. Let me see if this is the one. I think this is the one where he had the court date.
When life's not sweet, it sticks. So Native's pulling something new from the jar. The sugar.
Crazy. Neighbors of 21-year-old Zachary Mills had lots to say about the jarring allegations against him that detail a brutal, aggravated kidnapping beginning on Christmas Eve and spanning 5 days.
It's pretty scary with the new dating world only being, mostly online.
According to court documents, the victim agreed to meet Mills at his spring apartment home. Once she got there, he allegedly tried to have sex with her. When she refused, records show he started punching, slapping, biting her. He's also accused of hitting her with a screwdriver when his hands got tired and raping her. Officials believe he deprived her of food and water for the 5 days he held her captive.
It seems like it was thought out, and that's ridiculous.
The documents go on to say the woman was finally able to escape and get help once Mills left to his father's house. He was arrested on December 30th and charged with aggravated kidnapping. He posted a $50,000 bond today.
His conditions right now, he is on 24-hour house arrest outside of essential needs to travel for groceries or meeting with me, with his defense team, or attending court.
Meanwhile, Bumble offering 7 tips for safe dating that include always meeting in a public place, telling someone you trust where you're going, and researching the person you're meeting as much as possible.
That was some good information. We heard from the neighbor. We heard from Bumble, which I think are some great safety tips. Always make sure when you meet these people online, y'all, if you meet these people online, please make sure you vet them and don't go to people's houses. This is where we're seeing a lot of these crimes be carried out is because they go to people's houses or they take them to their home. So it's very, oops, sorry guys.
Neighbors of 21.
Sorry, that video started playing again. So it's very alarming, and everybody needs to just take precautions because y'all, it doesn't matter what dating app you're on. Some people say, oh, it's just one dating app. But no, it's happening in various different dating apps. I want to see if I can find, hold on guys, I'm gonna try to see if I can find I'm trying to find the court appearance. It's always frustrating trying to find the court appearance. Let me see. Because I wanted you guys to see his demeanor in the courtroom. He was very animated and trying to act as if, this is just outrageous. These lies against him are, not true. Let me see if I can find it. Hopefully I can, guys. And when they were reading his stipulations and telling him, he had to stay away from the woman, he was like, yeah, sure. Like his demeanor, it's very alarming how people, if he did this, I don't know if he did it, but I'm just saying, based upon the gravity of those injuries, they're quite disturbing. They are quite disturbing. Hopefully I can find it, guys. I'm trying to find that court date because I really want you to see his demeanor. Yeah, you would think the guy was innocent the way he was acting in the video. Okay, I found it, guys. Sorry. I'm so sorry. You would think the guy was innocent the way he was acting at the hearing. You would be like, man, okay, maybe he didn't do it. That's what I was thinking. And then I was like, no, look at them injuries, y'all. Them injuries don't lie. That girl has some severe injuries. But let's play this video really quick about his court date.
A woman he met through the Bumble dating app is now disputing those claims. ABC 13's Jessica Willey joining us. Accused of kidnapping a woman he met through the Bumble dating app is now disputing those claims. ABC 13's Jessica Willey joining us now live with the comments from the suspect's attorney who raised this credibility issues with the allegations. Hi, Jessica.
Yeah, what this victim says she went through is horrifying. 5 days held against her will, subject to assault. Well, tonight, the suspect's attorney says that his client is pleading not guilty. He says there are questions about what happened.
Zachary Mills.
Zachary Mills was animated often throughout his appearance in probable cause court the morning of New Year's Eve.
When the complainant denied the defendant's sexual advances, he began to assault her.
He appeared stunned as the prosecutor laid out the allegations and motioned as if wanting to interrupt.
Over the course of 5 days that she was held.
And when the hearing officer repeated them, he seemed more agitated and shook his head in denial. Mills, accused of kidnapping, assaulting, and holding a young woman he met on the dating app Bumble for 5 days, was arrested last Friday. The Harris County Precinct 4 Constable's Office posting the photos for its 175,000 Facebook followers. Mills' attorney says there is more to the story.
Not to be insensitive to the complaining witness at all or anything like that, or for anyone who may have actually experienced these traumatic events. I think also it's important to know that there are two sides to this story. My client is presumed innocent, as is afforded to him through the Constitution and due process. And I think it's important also that, once we finally get all the discovery turned over from the district attorney's office, I think a lot of light will be shed and a lot of questions will be answered.
Kristen Nunes says Mills is pleading not guilty. He says victim and suspect had not just met on Bumble, and that what is alleged did not happen.
No contact means no contact.
Mills appeared to be in total agreement when the hearing officer explained the no contact order. He is under house arrest after making a $50,000 bond. Is due back in court in March.
At the end of the day, we're all still kind of just trying to figure out how did it even get to this point.
Jessica Willey, ABC 13 Eyewitness News.
Accused of kidnapping.
Did y'all see his demeanor? He was like, yeah, sure, no, thumbs up. I will not talk to her ever again. I didn't do it. So like when you look at him, you're just like, man, maybe he was falsely accused. But then you're like, no, you look at the gravity of the injuries, y'all. This girl she had bruises all over her body. She had cuts on her throat and her neck and her throat and her nose. She had bite marks and severe bruising to both of her eyes. She had like black eyes. That doesn't sound like some, I don't know. That don't sound like whatever he trying to say. I don't know, but it don't sound right to me. Okay. So quite disturbing. And me as an attorney, I've always had an issue. That's why I've always been a prosecutor. I don't know how defense attorneys, I know we as attorneys have to advocate for our client, but I remember when I was a defense criminal, I did defense criminal law first. And I was like, ethically, I don't feel I can do that because I respect defense attorneys, criminal defense attorneys, but me personally, I can't. That's why I went for, I'm more for the criminal prosecution aspect of it and was a criminal prosecutor for several years. That's more my, that's how I felt more comfortable doing, because guys, that defense attorney, he looked like he was trying to struggle to try to figure out what he was going to say. So he went with the standard language you would say is that he's innocent until proven guilty. And once we get discovery, it's going to shed light. You know what that basically means? He's basically saying he doesn't know what the heck is going on in the case, and he needs to look at discovery to figure out what's going on. That's basically what he was saying, but he made it sound so flowery that to the public, he's trying to make it look like once we get the discovery, we're going to tell you what really happened. No, he's really saying, I don't know what happened. And once I get the discovery, it's going to allow me to understand what's really going on in the case. Because as it stands, I don't even know. Okay. That's what he's basically saying. Now, I still want to let you guys know about some prior cases that happened, because I want you to know that there is some concerns going on the dating app. And just last year, if you guys heard about this tragedy with this young lady, she met a guy on the dating app. She died after meeting someone on Bumble date 6 weeks ago, she died after a Bumble date 6 weeks ago, but that was January of last year, January 25th, 2022. And this was her family kind of asking for her justice. Her name was Lauren Smithfield, and this one was highly publicized last year on a lot of people's YouTube channels. But her body was found in Connecticut home after going out with a man she met on a dating app. And this guy was never prosecuted. This girl was alleged to have she died from some type of drugs, but her parents had said she never even used any drugs, ever. So they knew that something was wrong. That they were alleging that whatever, drink or whatever she was given, her drink or whatever was spiked with these drugs that led to her death. That's what they were saying. They wanted to open a criminal probe in the circumstances, and a year has now passed, almost a year has passed, and I haven't seen anything about them opening up a case. So it looks like that guy got away with it. It's so sad. The 23-year-old Black woman's death was ruled an accident on Monday. Isn't that horrible? With the state's chief medical examiner finding that she died from a toxic combination of fentanyl, prescription drugs, and alcohol. Now, the concerning, alarming thing about this one was that her parents and everybody knows her to not do any drugs at all. She's never been heard of to use drugs. So there was something very suspicious and alarming about it. But the authorities just dropped the ball, and they just said, oh, whatever, it was an accident. So till this day, unless you guys let me know any updates, I haven't heard of any criminal prosecution. The guy literally got away with it. If he did something to her, allegedly. And again, we don't know because he wasn't charged. But in my opinion, I feel like some suspicious stuff happened. That's just my opinion. But he hasn't been charged with anything, guys. But something about this story does not make sense to me at all. But again, she met this guy online on Bumblebee. They go to, I don't know if it was her house, guys, or his house. But while she's there, she goes outside to meet her brother for something, and he says she looked fine. And then when she goes back in, she's found dead with blood on her and blood in her private area and stuff. So it looked like somebody had some relations with her too. Okay. It looked like the guy had relations with her, in my opinion. Okay. On Tuesday, Bridgeport Police Chief Rebecca Garcia said in a statement that the department would look into the factors that led to her untimely death. The U.S. Drug Enforcement Administration planned to aid detectives in Bridge Narcotics and Vice Division. It's going to be hard for them to prove that too also. The announcement of a criminal inquiry comes after Smithfield relative challenged the medical examiner's ruling. The 23-year-old's family has spent weeks calling for justice, and she was found unresponsive. I'll tell you a little bit of details about what happened. She was found unresponsive in her apartment on December 12th by her Bumblebee date. So basically, looks what happens is the young girl invited him to her apartment after meeting him online. Again, This is the third story we just talked about where people are inviting people to apartments, houses. Stop going to people's houses, y'all. That's the big thing y'all need to learn from this dating stuff. Stop going to their house. Stop letting them come to your house. Meet at a public place. Even the dating apps tell you guys that, and people don't listen. Okay? Not that it's any of these victims' faults. I'm not saying that. I'm just talking to my viewers for a cautionary tale, just saying for other people. Because it's not their fault. I mean, they ended up meeting these crazy people out here. But anyway, she was found unresponsive by her Bumble date, a 37-year-old white man. Now, she's younger, too, than him. She's in her 20s, so that age gap, too, also. And she said he woke up to find her not breathing. So I'm wondering, what did he do? Did he spike her drink, allegedly, in my opinion, and then have his way with her, in my opinion, and then thought that she would sleep it off and wake up in the next morning, and then she didn't wake up? So it was like he didn't intend for her to die, but he did a dating, was it like a spike drink type of physical assault, in my opinion? And again, I don't think that he must have cleaned up really well, y'all, because he's going to argue it was consensual and she intentionally, took the drugs herself. So it was on her. So I haven't heard any updates on this case because this happened last year, guys, and I haven't heard anything. The blood was also trickling out of her nostrils, her right nostril, the report said. The man called 911 and has not been charged with any crimes. And I heard there was other evidence, too, that they found when they got there. But the family has alleged they learned about Smithfield's death 2 days later when her concerned mother drove to her home to find a note written by her landlord pinned to the door. If you're looking for Lauren, call this number. Wow, nobody even called her family. And this is her. She was so beautiful. She was also a content creator. So she had a YouTube, I believe, also. And she was just stunning. She would do like beauty tutorials and all that stuff and had it going on. And a lot of these young girls, they want to meet the older guys online who can pay for their stuff and they beauty stuff. I know you guys heard about this story from last year, but again, I just wanted to talk about it because I just want to highlight there is multiple stories out there like this. However, that's only the surface of what we know about these concerns. Not all of the cases are getting publicized. Okay, so you may think, oh, 1 or 2 or 3 cases, oh, that's nothing. But there's a lot more, as I talked about the statistics. Smithfield's brother, Tavar Graves Smith, told CBS that a detective later told the family the department hadn't felt the need to reach out to them. What? Their family member is unalived or dies, and they don't feel the need to reach out to the family? Are you serious? Because they had her passport and her ID, so they knew who she was. Well, yeah, you still have a duty to let her family know. Wow. The detective has since been removed from the case, according to multiple outlets. Wow. They said that a notice of claim filed Friday as part of the family's planned lawsuit, so they're suing, guys, alleged the police had treated this family with no respect and has violated their civil rights. In the notice, Crossland charged the police department with failure to collect potentially crucial evidence, physical evidence. It's sad. It's like they didn't care about this young lady. They didn't even care about her family. They just treated her like trash, just, discarded her, didn't even bother to notify her parents or anything. That is sad. It also condemned detectives' refusal to consider the victim's Bumblebee date a person of interest in the case. Investigators did not interview the man. They didn't even interview him, y'all. They just let him go. This is so sad. This shows you the difference, the stark difference in some of the prosecutions of these cases, depending on what the ethnicity is. I'm just saying, okay? And this was a very tricky one because in my theory is I feel like he might have spiked her drink, when she went outside, because there is allegations that she went outside to get something from her brother. And during that time, she's not able to monitor what's going on. So he could have easily spiked that girl's drink, whatever drinks they had that night, and come back in the house. And now she's drinking her drink and falls unconscious. And he has his way with her. Thinking, and he probably have done this multiple times. And this is all opinion, guys. Again, I don't, the guy hasn't even been charged, but I'm going to give my opinion. And based on my opinion, my theory is that he spiked that girl's drink, probably did this multiple times to other women, and is used to these women waking up, good to go after he violates them. He meets these girls online just to spike their drinks, to have his way with them, get them alone. and then they usually are woke up the next day, and he leaves or whatever. This time he spikes this girl allegedly, in my opinion, has his way with her, in my opinion, and finds out the next morning she doesn't wake up. That's what I think happened. Very disturbing. So people out here spiking drinks, they just want to have their way. This is sick. My gosh. Oh man, this is so sad, y'all. The investigators, they didn't even interview the man. They didn't even get details. I don't know if they went and test drinks or searched this guy. He might have gotten rid of the evidence. Who knows? The notice said, with the detective working the case at the time telling Smithfield's father that he was a nice guy, according to WTNH. The detective eventually told the family to stop calling. Wow, they were so rude to this family with questions about their daughter's death. This is sad. It's bad enough they lost a child and now they get rude treatment. That's messed up. Activists and local lawmakers joined the family in pushing for justice. Maria, a Bridgeport city councilman, told Conrent that she was appalled by the proceedings. This is sad. I hope they do sue. I do. Do you think if a white mother or father had a 23-year-old white daughter die and the last person she saw her was an older black man that she met on a dating site, do you think that would have been handled in the exact same way? No, because I just talked to you guys about the several other cases like this. Jasmine Pace, Duan Winter, and the other victim, which we didn't identify because she's still alive and she's still, in the prosecution process. So they're not going to identify her. So we'll just use her initials, JW. Those other three victims, their cases are being heavily prosecuted. Now, this case is a little bit more difficult to prove because, they're going to really have to have some, they should have gotten a search warrant and searched this guy's house. They should have searched some of his, what he's purchased, like his, bank records, the things that he's bought. Because if he's bought certain substances, or maybe he's buying this stuff off the street too, so then he can't track that either. What if he's buying this off a known drug dealer or whatever? Alleged. This is just opinions, guys, all theories. But what if he's buying this off like a street drug dealer and then using that? They're not going to be able to track that stuff. So it's like, it's sad. This one's a really sad one for me because I really, in my opinion, feel that some criminal activity happened in this case. I don't feel that this young lady just randomly starts taking drugs with some guy she doesn't even know. It doesn't even fit the facts. Like, you meet got somebody on a dating app and you all of a sudden start taking all these drugs while you're with some guy you don't even know. Who would do that? Who would do that? Some people do crazy stuff like that, but I just don't, it doesn't sound like this young lady did it, guys. This is sad, y'all. This is so sad. That's why I want to talk to you guys about these different cases. Let's hear this little video, and then we're going to move on to another one, y'all. Another one.
No one is going to discard my daughter like she's rubbish. She's not rubbish. She had a life. She had a business. She was in college. And she has family and friends that love her. Amen. No one is going to discard Lauren Smithfield's my daughter as she's rubbish. They're going to answer everything, or people are going to lose their job. I want that bastard on his bag. I want his bag.
That is sad, man. Imagine what these parents, that's messed up. They're going through all this emotional turmoil. They lost their little girl and like nobody's helping. Like, don't you see the stark difference? We just covered several cases and all these other cases are being prosecuted. And this one is like, they just threw this girl away. And I know it's a difficult one to prove. It is, because this one's different than the others where the other ones had actual injuries. One shot. The other girl, she was packaged in a suitcase and left somewhere. The last case we talked about, the girl had bruises all over her body and bite marks and cuts. This one's a little different because it's related to drugs and toxicology. So I could see where they're going to argue, well, she, there's two sides to the story, and he might have bought this off the street. So again, the prosecution saying, well, evidentiary wise, we're going to have a hard time prosecuting this. But I feel like the investigators still should have put the work in to investigate. Like, they didn't even do that. They just totally closed the case out, took this guy's word for it, and they called the guy a nice guy. And like one of you guys said in the chat, he did look like a kind of weird type of looking dude. I don't have a picture of him, y'all, but if y'all know where I can find that picture, let me know. because it would be nice to show you guys how he looked. He looked kind of creepy to me. I did see a picture of him out there floating around, but I wasn't planning to cover this story to the fullest because I know you guys have already heard about this story, and it's an older case. It just happened. Well, it's not older. It happened last year, but it's still showing a trend of what's going on. I need you guys to know about this. It's a trend. It's a problem. And I wanted to put these stories together so you can see, wow, it's happening to multiple women, multiple people. It's not just one person. I'm not even covering all of the stories that are out there. But I'm going to show you another one just so you can see that it's happening all over the place, okay? So this next one that I want to talk to you about happened in Atlanta, okay? In Atlanta, a woman reveals she met this man on Hinge dating app. Guys, it's literally all the dating apps. We just heard Meet Me app, Bumblebee. Now it's the Hinge dating app. Okay, she met this guy on the Hinge dating app. Now this one happened November 2020, so it was a couple of years ago. But again, I'm trying to show you a trend that is happening across the board on different dating apps. So I don't want people to think, oh, just because it happened on this one dating app, I'm good. I'll go to this other dating app. No, it's happening to different various dating apps because these predators don't care really what the name of the dating app is. They're going across the board to different various dating apps. So this Atlanta woman, she meets a guy on a dating app called Hinge, and he beat her and was dead set on unaliving her because she wasn't worth what the date cost. So he spent this money on her. He was mad because of the cost of the date. So he beats her, almost unalive this girl. Can you believe this? Brittany Courier says the brutal attack happened after she went on a date with the man who she only knows as Ben last Wednesday in Atlanta. Courier, who said it was her first experience with online dating. Oh my gosh, guys, and it was her first experience with it. Dang. She shared gruesome photos on Instagram of her bloodied face with the aftermath of the attack. She said the man picked her up from her home in a white car and drove to the Hyde Lounge in Atlanta. After the date, Courier said the man refused to let her out of the car and started beating her. She said things escalated further when he pulled out a gun and pointed it at her. The attack only stopped when a security guard witnessed him pulling over and dragging Courier from the car. Police say they are still working to identify the man responsible. So I don't even know if they ever found the guy, guys. So he might be out there still on the dating app. Police are searching for a man who dragged an Atlanta woman out of his car, beat her, and pulled a gun after meeting her on a dating app called Hinge. Courier says the brutal attack happened after she went on a date with the man who she only knows as Ben. Courier said it was her first experience on online dating. This is her, y'all. She said she was sharing her story publicly to warn the dangers of online dating. Now, I'm going to warn you guys, these are gruesome photos. So if you don't like gory stuff, clock out now because it's about to be shown. It's already on the screen, but I'm going to make them a little larger. This is one of her photos, y'all. Oh, my gosh. Oh, my God. He beat her so bad. He beat this girl so bad. This is sad. Look at her lip. Oh, my gosh. Authorities have footage of the man's car after Courier's doorbell camera captured him arriving at her home earlier that night. She said the man picked her up from her home in a white car and drove her in the Hinge Hyde Lounge in Atlanta. So this is another safety precaution. Okay, so we've heard about the other 3 cases where these women went to the guys' houses, okay, or they invited them to their own house. This is another safety precaution. Do not go into a car with a guy you meet online or a woman you meet online. Take your own vehicle. Do not let them know where you live. Do not go into a car with them, and do not do not go to their house. Those are 3 safety precautions that will keep you safe. If they ask to come pick you up, say, no, thank you. I'll take my own car. I'll meet you, at the location, and never let them know where you live. So this is another safety precaution. This girl, she didn't go into a house with him, but she got into his car. Any type of enclosed area that's, you and the person, don't go. Don't do it. Take your own vehicle. So that's why I want to share this one too, because this is a different aspect of dating you know, where you're actually getting to the car with the guy. After the date, Coyer said the man refused to let her out of the car. So he held her hostage in the car and he started beating her. This is so sad. Carrie said the ordeal was her first experience with online dating, and she is so stunning. It's so sad, man. This is heartbreaking. She said the man who she met on Hinge picked her up from her home in a white car. See, again, do not get into people's cars. Don't do it, y'all. And drove to the High Lounge in Atlanta. After the date, Coyer said we already talked about this. They keep repeating. I hate sometimes Daily Mail. They repeat a lot. She said he started beating me in my head, punching me everywhere. My forehead, my temples, my cheeks, my jaw, throat, arms, and my back. Man, he beat her everywhere. He was just telling me that the date cost too much and that I'm not worth that. So he was mad because the date was too expensive. Wow. She said things escalated further when he pulled out a gun and pointed it at her and threatened to unalive her. Oh my God. She said he was dead set on unaliving me, she said. The man pulled the car over near Westside Provisions District before dragging Coyer from the vehicle while still hitting her. That is crazy, guys. Crazy. And see, one thing she did right is that she had a doorbell camera. So her doorbell camera was able to capture his car. So y'all need to, first of all, don't even let people go to your house and don't get picked up. But it's good to have a doorbell camera too for other safety precaution reasons, just for yourself. That is sad. So we already saw pictures, but she was a very beautiful girl. Poor girl. She's probably not going to do online dating after this, I tell you. A security guard who witnessed Coyer being pulled from the car ran over. Coyer said she believes the man got spooked and fled in his car. So thank God the security guard saved that girl's life, guys. But for that security guard, we would have heard a whole different tragedy. She said he's dragging me and beating me, and there just happened to be a security guard there. So she comes running, taking pictures, and I think he got spooked. It was literally by the grace of God, Coyer said. Yeah, she literally got saved by the grace of God because of that security guard. Wow. She said it almost just felt like a setup of a situation. No, it's just that we need to stop going into these people's cars, going to their houses and stuff. Just if you want to do the online dating, which is dangerous as it is, if you really want to still, you're set on doing it, it's up to you, but just don't go to people's houses. Don't let them come to yours, and do not get in a car with them. Police have since said that the man could have driven Coyer around for an hour before dragging her from the vehicle. Authorities have footage of her vehicle after Coyer's doorbell camera captured him arriving at her home earlier that night. Police say they are still trying to identify and locate the attacker. I don't even know if they ever found that guy, guys. I'm trying to see if there's an updated article in there. There doesn't appear to be one, because usually they'll have an updated article. That's sad. Wow. So I don't even think they found the guy, guys. This is crazy. So y'all, I mean, I showed you some stories of the crisis and the dangers of online dating, but you need to take precaution, guys. Be aware. Like Betty Yellick said. Hi, Betty. She said, ladies, please be aware of these online dating apps. Be aware. Yeah, Betty Yellock said, seems like guys are using these apps to unalive, yeah, and do other things. True. Thank you, Betty Yellock. She says, please share this out, everyone. Please, yes, please get the word out, guys. It's a concern. I wanted to bunch some of these stories together to show you that this is happening to multiple people across the U.S., if not the world. I'm just saying. It's happening a lot. That's what I'm saying. People are getting away with, yeah, they are. Literally. They're getting away with stuff. This was sad. It happened to that other case with the Miss Fields. I saw how the guy looked. I'm saying the guy, I changed it. And he looked like a trouble and broke. Yeah, in that other case, he sure did. You have to vet these guys out before you meet them. Exactly, guys. Vet the guys out that you're meeting. Yes, Prima, court is now in session. Volume too low. For which one, Shelly? You couldn't hear anything? Sorry, girl, you might have to put your volume up on your computer. I believe anyone who you find online, be careful, y'all. Be careful, like Tarva last has said. Be careful. It seems you need to be more careful getting on these dating sites. Right, Crystal? Hi, Crystal. Hi, everybody in the chat. Yeah, be very, very careful. She said, I have heard there are scammers on Christians Mingle. Exactly, there is. Oh, I did that one. I did that dating site before, Crystal. And I met some weirdos on there. That's why I just stopped doing the online dating thing altogether, because I was having these horrible experiences. And I was like, you know what? I'm done. But again, y'all do what y'all want to do, but just be careful. Shelly says, I have even heard horror stories on the Christian Mingle app. Yes, I've had my own personal experiences with the Christian Mingle app. There's some predators on there too. You'd be surprised. Oh, Shelly says, after my 20-year marriage ending in divorce, I'm too scared to date. I'm already hiding from my ex-husband. Have a restraining order. Oh, I'm so sorry, Shelly. I don't want to have to run from another one too. I'm single for life. Girl, sometimes people get to that point. I don't blame you. I don't blame you, girl. Hi, Shelly. I'm just so happy to see you. Yeah, her students are going to miss Wendy. That was a sad one. Wendy Duan and her mom. Crystal says, Bell is high. He's a flight risk. Exactly. Okay. All right, guys. Well, thank you. Let me know if in the chat, hit a 1 in the chat if you guys want to come up on the platform and talk about this. I'll wait to see if anybody wants to come talk. If not, we will close court out for the day. Dragonette says, I guess I've been lucky. I haven't had any problems. Okay, so you haven't had any issues, because I think Dragonette, you probably take safety precautions. I would be interested if you want to come to the chat, come up to the platform and talk about your experiences, because I'm curious to figure out what your strategy is, because you might take more safety precautions. Hi, Ron Thompson. Nice to see you, sweetie. Hi, love. Yeah, I'm curious, Dragonette, if you want to come to the platform to talk about your experiences, because you might be able to give some warning signs or advice to people about safety precautions that you take, because you said you haven't had any problems. So I'm pretty sure you have some type of internal processing of how you vet the people you're dating, though. Some of these people, they don't. They just get lured in by the charm. So if you want to come talk on the platform about what you do, that'd be nice. I couldn't hear you, but I couldn't hear the news that you posted. Oh, okay. I don't know. Everybody else could hear it, so maybe turn it up, maybe? Did everybody else, could you guys hear the news that I posted? Let me know. I just think pure luck. I haven't done anything special. Okay, you haven't done anything. But do you, Dragonette, do you go to these people's houses though? Do you, like, would you be more cautious and not go to their houses? Like, what do you do? Do you actually, you've gone to people's houses and haven't had any issues? Or do you have more of a safety precaution you take? Oh, Dragonette said, of course I have a gun too. Okay, that's what I'm saying. Y'all need to get trained on how to use a firearm, and you need to have your stuff ready to go. Dragonette. Okay, that's what I'm talking about. You go, girl. And right, and see, that's what I said. I knew you had some type of safety precautions. She has a gun, and she doesn't go to anyone's houses. Exactly. That's what I'm saying. That's your safety precautions, Dragonette, what you just said. You carry a firearm, and you don't go to people's houses. See, that's why you've had good luck, because you're taking safety precautions. Even though you don't know and you're not intentionally doing that, you just automatically know to do it. So I don't think you realize, oh, you said you do bring guys over all the time. All from your dating app, girl? From your dating app? Oh, well, she's been lucky. For the rest of us, I would say some safety precautions to take, y'all. Do not go to people's house. Do not invite them to your house. Do not, she said, I bring them over and my house is secure. One guy asked if I was worried about hookups. Oh my God. Okay. Dragonette is lucky, guys. I'm just saying she is an exception. For the rest of us, I'm going to give you some safety precautions. And I would say, don't go to people's house if you meet them online. Meet them in a public place. Take your time, get to know them, really get to know them. Don't go to their house. Do not drive in a car with them. Do a criminal check on them. Look at their social medias. Look up their criminal record if you can get their full name somehow. And just really be careful. Like don't, even though they're charming, I know they're going to say all the right things that you want to hear. And it sounds so great on paper. But you just seeing what's happening out here. There's some predators out there who are looking for people that are sweet and gullible that they can victimize. Okay? So you don't have to be scared. I'm not telling you to completely stop going online and stuff like that. But just take precaution, y'all. Y'all can see all the stories out there. The statistics don't lie. Okay? They said, what was the statistics they were saying? They said about 6,000. Oh, they said about 16,000. So even more terrifying is the report says. Let me show it back on the screen for y'all. These are the scary, alarming statistics. 1 in 10 SEX offenders meet new people on dating apps or websites. Another startling report states in 2005, 25% of people convicted of the RAPE find their victims through online dating. Even more terrifying is the report says each year internet predators commit more than 16,000 abductions, 100 unalives, and thousands of arrests. Thousands of the RAPES word. These numbers each year, more than 16,000 abductions, 100 unalives, and thousands of RAPEs, because a lot of these motives too are for physical assaults. They want to have physical relations with these women. They don't want to just target them online. Right. Tarva Last said, oh my God, you're lucky. It only takes one. Exactly. It only takes one. You're lucky, girl. You're blessed by the Lord himself. But just for the rest of us, y'all need to be careful. Okay. All right. I didn't see any ones in the chat, so it looks like no one wants to come up and talk about this topic to the platform. So I'm going to close court down. Have a wonderful, lovely Saturday, y'all. And litigate your case with dignity and grace. Take care.